ABS, is it the new most electric play in all of Major League Baseball? We are here to talk to you guys about everything ABS. What does that stand for? Automatic Ball Strike System, I think?
Yeah, I think so.
That sounds right? ABS.
Feels
It
right.
doesn't matter what it stands for. What matters is what's actually happening. For those of you who have been under a rock, my mic is all over the place right now. For those of you who have been under a rock, ABS right now, every single team in Major League Baseball has the chance to challenge a ball or strike call twice in a game. If they get it wrong, they lose that challenge. If they get it right, they keep the challenge. So the more you get it right, the more you have the attempts to keep on challenging it. And boy, have the umpires looked a little bit foolish. It's been absolutely electric. Before we get going into it, make sure you subscribe to the Windup so you don't miss out on any of the baseball content coming out. And shout out to our members who get access to all the videos early. But first, I want to give a quick shout to today's sponsor, Vuori. Vuori draws inspiration from the coastal California lifestyle, and it makes sense with the clothes. The clothes are comfortable, they're light, they're stylish. They integrate fitness, sport, as well as art and design in all their clothes. For us over at the Windup, we like loungewear, we like recovery, and I can say without a doubt that Vuori has the most comfortable clothing, the most comfortable apparel, and it's all made with extremely high quality. You see me wearing the Coronado Crew, it's somehow lightweight, but also warm and comfortable. Even their performance tee, it's legitimately the nicest t-shirt I've ever owned. And then of course, we've got my personal favorite, the Ponto Performance Joggers. Comfortable, lightweight, warm, but also I can wear them out on the streets and look good doing so. I don't dress well, so I'll take any help I can get, which is why I think you guys need to shop with Vuori right now. First-time purchasers get 20% off their first purchase when they click the link in the description and sign up for emails. That's 20% off this amazing clothing just by clicking the link and signing up for email. You can also scan the QR code on the screen if you have not yet done so. It takes you to the same link, you get the same deal. Thank you to Vuori for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to it. All right, James, ABS. This was a little brainchild of yours because you're loving ABS right now.
I've been obsessed with this through the first week of baseball. I've been all over Baseball Savant's dashboard for what's happening with challenges, who's winning them, who's losing them. I'm seeing the runs created and saved by catchers and players in the league. Every single time one of these videos makes its way to Twitter, especially from, well, I remember if it was opening day, the second game of the season with CB Buckner in Cincinnati, going 5 for 5 against him, maintaining your challenge with every single one. The crowd pops getting louder and louder and louder, maintaining huge situations. Eugenio Suarez with the crescendo one, keeping his at bat going with the bases loaded in a tight game. Like, this is something that I think has become a huge, I don't want to say it's a huge issue in baseball over the last few years, but at least become a huge lightning rod on social media, being like complaining about the umpires. How do you miss that call? The umpire scorecards have become something that goes viral every single night when we know there's a bad game. Now that there's some power back to the players to challenge this and get things right, it's unlocked a wealth of opportunities and strategy in the game that we haven't seen in a long time, this kind of a change.
Yeah, I didn't expect ABS to reach parts of the world and culture and internet that aren't baseball related. I really thought it would just be like a very baseball focused thing, but there's football guys that I follow on social media that are tweeting about it. I think Part of My Take even did an entire thing on the ABS and how it's absolutely awesome. Listen, any chance for more people to get eyes on baseball is always a good thing. And for some reason, I think I understand why. Everybody hates umpires. It doesn't matter where you stand. If you've played any sport at any time, you hate the other team that you're playing, but at the end of the day, the uniting, what does that mean with like the Bloods and the Crips where they hold the hands together?
An alliance.
Yeah, an alliance. You've got the alliance of like everyone hates the ref, everybody hates the umpire. So there's kind of like this weird uniting right now of everyone around the league, and also all the bad umpiring that we've seen throughout the time, like you said, on Twitter, the umpire scorecards. CB Buckner, considered by every single person in Major League Baseball to be the worst umpire in terms of balls and strikes.
It makes me miss Angel Hernandez.
It does a little bit, because that guy was confident. Imagine what would have happened with his strike zone. But yeah, seeing CB get like so many in a row wrong is absolutely electric. I think Doug Eddings the other night with Alvaro Perez had like 3 in 1 inning.
Yeah, that's it.
I saw Mike Trout. I don't know who was umpiring in this game, but they're 2 of the worst strike overturns that I've seen right now. Because again, on Baseball Savant, you can go to their dashboard and it will literally allow you to look at every single pitch that has been challenged. There are 2 that are about 2.5 inches above the strike zone that were called on Mike Trout in the same inning, bottom of the 9th against the Astros in a 6-9 game with a guy on second base. These are huge moments. Those overturns put Mike Trout on base, and now the tying runs at the plate because of it.
It makes me think about baseball history and how many huge moments could have changed, like the butterfly effect in a lot of these games. Even as recently as the World Baseball Classic, the Geraldo Perdomo strike to end the Dominican Republic United States game. And Geraldo Perdomo having, I don't remember the umpire's name, but having the umpire on opening day and going up and like dapping him up, being like, all good, no worries. But seeing the way that social media, like we said at the top, is taken to these ABS challenges. You're seeing tweets with 6 million impressions, 7 million impressions from Shelfie at John Boy, 6 million impressions from Jeff Passan, 5 million impressions over here. I'm scrolling. I want to get his name right now, so because he got 5 million impressions. 6 million from Truman Nation.
Oh, another MLB The Show guy.
Our first ever ABS rage bait ejection when Josh Bell took a walk to put runners at second and third, bring the go-ahead run to the plate. Ryan Helsley, at the time, I think it was the first successful pitcher ABS challenge, but it came a little late, and Derek Shelton came busting out of the dugout, freaking out about it. You had another one go viral today because a pitch was called a strike by like 2 millimeters. Like, it's fun how this has invited, again, a new wrinkle into the game. And I think objectively, this is undeniably making it better.
Yeah, it's making it better because at the end of the day, we should be getting these calls right. It's an insane concept. It's all sports, so it's not just a baseball thing, but it is an insane concept that we do just have, like, we have black and white rules, but especially in baseball, the strike zone for the longest time ever was just very blurry. It was kind of up to whatever the umpire decided, and for some reason, we just blatantly allowed them to have that much control over the game. We've always joked about how, Angel Hernandez and CB Buckner and some of these guys that have been around the league, they think it's the umpire show, that you're coming to the game to watch them. They feel like they're the stars, and this is their chance, their moment to have all eyes on them. Now you want all the eyes on you? Guess what? You're going to get embarrassed because you're absolutely shit at your job.
And we're not cavemen. Like, we have the tools to make this perfect. Like, the Hawkeye cameras that are now installed in every single ballpark. We know every single little tiny teeny movement that happens for every single player, the ball, every single pitch, every ball in play. We're now also there's now data to track wind, how much wind is happening. Like, there should be no stone should be left unturned with what's on the line every single one of these baseball games. Now that we're able to do this, I'm obsessed with this stuff. And I'm excited for what's going to happen when the umpires start to fight back.
How do they fight back? What's the fight back, you think?
Well, the fight back is there is a tiny little bit of gray area in the rule about how quickly you can challenge. I think it's technically a 2-second thing. And there was a play in the Rays-Cardinals game from Sunday where umpire said, nope, not quick enough.
Whoa.
So I do think that's something that now, again, like you said, that CB Buckner trail from a few days ago was shocking. He got 5 in a row wrong. And the same with Doug Eddings, Salvador Perez. 3 pitches in like an inning in the exact same spot. Salvador challenges every single one. Every single one gets overturned. Umpires are going to get kind of moody about this. At least some of them will. I don't think all of them will, because I think some of them will be like, all right, cool. Now I'll get that spot next time. Thank you for that. But some guys will. And this is going to be an amazing, push and pull this season between players and umpires again.
It is hilarious, like, the ego hit that these guys are going to take by getting, like, again, 2 overturns in a game where there's a couple hundred pitches. That's like less than 1% of the pitches in the game. But their ego is so fragile as the umpires. They think it's all about them. That, like you said, there are going to be guys that are moody, and they're going to be very, like, I don't want to say vindictive umpires, but what backfires on them is that if they keep doing this stupid stuff, they're going to continue to look horrible. So it's a cycle that's going to keep going and going and going until the point where hopefully these guys actually care about what they're doing and get the calls correct. And I think that's a weird positive that might come out of this, is that now the umpires are actually learning what the strike zone is. It's not just up to them.
A lot of them know what the strike zone is. I think there's a lot of very good umpires in Major League Baseball, but there's a few.
85% of them.
It's the classic line right here. A few bad apples in there. That kind of ruins the look for all of the umpires. And Codify had a tweet, I think ahead of the games on Sunday, ABS challenge overturn rate so far. There was 35 games across Major League Baseball entering play on Sunday. 69% overturn rate for the 10 oldest umpires in the league. 39% overturn rate for the 10 youngest umpires in the league.
So you're telling me that the younger guys might have better vision and might be able to react to what's going on better.
And then also we're looking at this with the players too. The catchers, 64% overturn rate so far, and they've in total challenged 92 attempts. And this is up to the minute on StatCast as we're recording this 10 o'clock on Monday night. Pitchers have only challenged 5 times.
I don't think the pitcher's going to be very good at this. I know. I don't know if I mentioned it on this channel, if I mentioned it on Mets Up, but Lance Brosdowski did a video. Shout out Lance, friend of the channel, where he asked people around baseball for their bold predictions. And Cespedes Barbecue, Jake Mintz, because they're the strangest baseball guys ever, and that's what makes them so unique and what makes what they do great. His bold prediction was that there's not going to be a pitcher that wins ABS challenge from August 1st to the end of the season. Reason being is that we're going to find out that pitchers are so terrible at judging what a ball or strike is. They also have the worst view out of anybody. They have by far the worst view of the three people that can challenge it. And they're a little ego too. They have a little bit of pride. They want that strikeout. They want that strike instead of the ball. They've not been very good right now, the pitchers, and I think that bold prediction might come true. I think they might just the teams might tell their guys, you can't do that.
I mean, there are going to be some pitchers in the league you can't really tell them no. Like if you tell Max Scherzer he can't do something, he's going to do it. I'm excited to watch him pitch. Start tapping his head. Second pitch of the game.
Remember our conversation with him when we interviewed him about ABS? He was like, he was all for it. He's like, let's get it.
Yeah, of course, because you want to hold the umpires accountable. Also, at the same time, hitters only 42% on 78 attempts so far.
Similarly to the pitchers, not the perfect view. Catcher by far has the best view. They're literally in front of the umpire. They're closer than the umpire to the actual call, so they see it the best, which is kind of funny when you think about it. But yeah, hitters are also emotional too.
And think about it. I think already 6 of those successful overturns were against C.B. Buckner.
I believe so. Yeah.
So that's weighting that entire
and two of them were Mike Trout in one at bat in the ninth inning against the Astros.
Wait, no, but CB was in Cincinnati last weekend. I don't think that was CB.
I said Mike Trout.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I thought you were also like parlaying on the CB Buckner thing, but
but there's 8 right there.
Yeah, that's it. And then also 3 of the catcher successful ones are all against Doug Eddings right there, successful almost consecutive pitches. Like this is some players are going to have the skill. There's going to be a whole other way to derive value. So much other things to do. Our guy Francisco Alvarez of the Mets, he had the first successful ABS challenge in the league. He nailed that one. We talked also for Francisco Alvarez about the automatic ball strikes. We interviewed him when he played for the Cyclones, single A baseball. He was 19 years old. We asked him about his understanding of the strike zone from catching, taking that to the box with an automatic strike zone when it was down there in the Florida State League. And he was like, yeah, I know the strike zone very well now. Guys like him who've been working with an ABS system, that was 2021 that we spoke to him. Like, that's an amazing experience to have now. And then also with this, you're getting guys who are pimping the ABS calls. Randy Rosarena had one the other day, too, where he took what he thought was ball 4, umpire rung him up, threw his bat, tapped his head, walked to first base. Francisco Alvarez just had one in the Mets game, too. I was watching right before we came on. Like, it's just, anytime a wrinkle can be added to this game that we love so much, I just get enamored with it, and this is a huge one.
I also love seeing all the stats too about this, and it's going to be fascinating to see as the weeks and the months and the season goes on, which teams, which organizations are best at, which umpires are the worst and getting the most overturns. Right now, the Houston Astros do not have a single successful challenge from either the batter or the fielding spot, and I do believe they're the only team in baseball that has not successfully won a challenge, which is interesting.
You also had the moment in the Yankees-Giants series over the weekend. We're talking about how much they can impact a game before, where Aaron Judge, he would have been struck out. He challenged. He gets the call right. He hits a home run later in the at-bat, takes the lead against the Giants.
Yeah, like it can literally change a game getting these calls right. And I think this is something that like me and you have more talked about in person. And I'm sure all of you guys at home that are watching baseball or played baseball at any level, like you'll understand this conversation here where sometimes like a 2-0 count or a 2-1 count, that or a 1-1 count, that could be the difference in an at-bat. And Foolish Baseball made a great video a couple years ago now, even just about the difference about starting 0-1 versus 1-0 in an at-bat. And the difference is basically being Freddie Freeman at the plate when you start off 1-0, or what was it, Kevin Pillar, I think, or Paul DeYoung?
When it was Paul DeYoung.
Paul DeYoung's career OPS when you're 0-1. Like, it completely changes the feel of an at-bat to get the call right. And I think it's a great add to the game. This is something that I think eventually we probably will just move to a completely automated ball strike zone. So I don't know how long this will truly last, but this is a huge improvement on what was a flawed system.
And that's also why, understandably, I'm sure some of these umpires will get a little bit tense about ABS, just because it's, everyone right now is worried about computers, AI taking their jobs. Like the umpires are absolutely no different at this moment. Like you don't want to live in a world, I don't think, where they're completely useless. Like I think that sucks. But also at the same time, like watching CB Buckner do the whole and pop out Eugenio Suarez, only get a challenge. And to think about his ending and ending with the bases loaded, it's like, nope, it's just 2-2.
Yeah, it's just the CB Buckner experience.
And I think a lot of other fans from other sports right now are looking at baseball with a little bit of jealousy, which is something we haven't seen or had much over at least the 25 years of our conscious fandom of this game.
That's what I was going to say, like since the steroid era.
Basically, and they're like, wow, like something was wrong, and they fixed it, and now it's better. And it happened really fast. And when we were at the Mets game on Thursday, we were like, wow, that review was quick.
It was awesome.
Much quicker than they were in spring training, and quicker than some of the videos I've seen in the minor leagues over the last few years. So the fact that it's instantaneous, it was an easy fix, and it's improving the games. Like I can't begin to describe how excited I am about this.
It is also awesome being in the stadium. And it's like, it's funny because the UK and the Brits and the Europeans, they hate VAR so much, even though it gets the call right every single time. It's a very funny like juxtaposition of like, for me as an American, when I see VAR, I think that shit's electric. And I know if there's any soccer fans out there, they're pissed at me right now, or as they'd say, we're fuming at you. But like, VAR challenge is electric. Let's get the call right. I never understand the animosity towards making the right decision. That I can't get behind. And I think with baseball, that's kind of not existing right now, although I did see a conversation now about how much of the ball should be in the strike zone for it to be considered a strike. I think it's perfect how it is, black and white. If that ball touches it by a hair on the top of your head, that's a strike.
And there was also conversations because now they're doing a 2D strike zone. So it's the box. It's the box. And the other thing, we can't believe we forgot to talk about this. Every single guy in Major League Baseball is shorter now because everyone wants a smaller strike zone.
It's electric. All these guys. Well, they're not shorter because they want a smaller strike zone.
Well, actually,
they're shorter because that's their actual real height. Alex Bregman is not 6'1". He is indeed 5'10". I think Gavin Lux went down to 5'9". I think Bo Naylor went down to 5'8" from 6'1". Like, it is kind of hilarious to see. I also wonder what this would have done for a lot of the prospect pedigree for these guys, just completely lying about their height
the whole time. But it's funny but also now there's a benefit to being shorter, so you kind of have to be like, all right, I am shorter now. It's just so many teeny tiny wrinkles of this. And as this is all going on, like the juxtaposition when we watch March Madness, which is the best. I love college basketball this time of year. It's amazing. But the ends of those games, when they try to get calls right, it takes 4 hours.
So long.
And NBA fans complain about this all the time. It's like, yeah, I know I want to get this call right, but you're completely disrupting the flow and rhythm of the game. Similar to now what we have here in baseball. NFL made the switch last year with the automatic understanding, like the automatic placing of the ball, knowing exactly where it is. I never could understand that for the life of me. If that there was one guy eyeballing where the ball went down.
That's insane. I'm like, how do
billions of dollars are at stake?
Like the whole reason when a football goes into the crowd, and you can't take it home, is because there's proprietary technology in there, and then they just weren't using it to track the football forever.
And then also tennis does this perfectly well. Like I understand that John McEnroe wouldn't have had much of a career. He would have had a great career, but he would have been much less of a famous person if this existed back then. You could argue with the line judge, but the basketball NBA, put a chip in the ball. If it hits the out of bounds line, if it hits someone's hand last, just get that instant. Why does it take 25 minutes to get these right? Baseball takes a second and a half.
For a game that had been so long and so slow to many, there's a lot of things that baseball has done over the last 3-4 seasons where it's getting faster, and it's weirdly kind of matching up with the rise in popularity as well.
Again, everything's going in the right direction for baseball right now. Let's have a great season. Let's have no labor issues at the end of it.
I wasn't even going to bring it up, James, but you did, and I agree with you completely. Let's just keep playing baseball. Baseball's great. It's hot. Let's keep the momentum going.
And great start to the season. Can't wait to talk to you guys more about it.
Last question for you, James. Who is going to be the batter that has the best challenge percentage this year? In terms of, like, they have to make a good amount, not just, like, one guy who's, like, 1 for 1.
Yeah. I'm always going to lean Judge or something like that, but they could. So. There's probably a good chance it winds up being a catcher. Okay. I don't know. Like, I want to say, like, I do love Francisco Alvarez, but I do think that maybe it might not be him. Like, Trout, also Roman Anthony, guys who just have an unbelievable understanding of the strike zone. I also am excited to see the reckless guys, and this also plays into the Jake Mintz's bold predictions. Like, when do some guys lose the card to challenge? Because with the team only having 2, like, at some point you just can't really let guys challenge willy-nilly. Like, Ronald Acuna Jr., Aaron Judge, like, Juan Soto, they're getting the right to challenge. But, like, how many challenges can, like, Bryce Teodosio get?
I got to assume 0.
I just he's already lost one this year.
They let him do one?
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, when do these teams are going to start instituting rules at some point, because you just can't let these go willy-nilly. Because if you're innocent, that's going to be the big fun story, too. When you've already lost both your challenges and you lose the game, in air quotes, on a bad call in the 9th inning, or everyone hating on that guy.
What's going to be worse? Win the game on an ABS, lose the game on an ABS. Which one's worse? Like, in terms of, like, feel. Obviously, winning the game's always better.
I mean, also, here's another one. Wait, I just lost what I was going to say. Where was it? The first team that tries to cheat.
Ooh, how's that?
Because some broadcasts are still doing, like, a soft box a little bit.
SNY is, right?
Yeah, so it's like that was supposed to be gone, but I think there's some like workaround rules to it. Like, it has to fade away, it has to be a certain thickness. But there's also all these teams have the video staffs are unbelievably well equipped. Someone's going to try and sneak something onto their catcher at some point.
We know it's not the Astros since they haven't won one yet.
I mean, that's right. The Astros, like, we're not going to cheat. Look at us not cheating.
Where's Carlos Beltran?
I don't know. He could be anywhere.
No clue what team he's on. Don't look
No-
at the team that's 100% from the fielding perspective.
No idea. No, but it's like I guarantee you right now someone's cheating on this. Like, it has to be.
Yeah, probably. Or they're trying to find a way.
Why wouldn't you be?
It was Yasmani Grandal when he called in after the Houston Astros. He's like, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Shout out Yasmani Grandal for saying that. But that's the ABS talk. Short, sweet, simple. We'll probably check in on this like once a month and just see what teams are doing the best. I think we'll have some fun short form content.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comment section down below. Do you want to see us play a game? Let's see if me and James
I'd love to
could
do
be
that.
better than the ABS system with ball.
Does that
and strike
exist?
call. I don't know, but we're going to try and find a way. I
my
don't know.
God.
Kieran knows how to do AI stuff. I'm sure he could make a game for us out of that.
We just gotta it's just find a way to get a lot of close pitches on Baseball Savant feeds and then click, and we have to call ball or strike. I guess that's all this really is. We're just umpires.
Yeah, we're just umpires, but
Okay.
ABS is involved. Would you challenge the call? That's the thing.
Yeah, okay, I'm into that.
All right, I'm into that. We'll see how it goes. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to the Windup. Make sure you follow James on social media at
James Shiano.
I'm Draft Nick Mark. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.